Some decisions are major decisions. And also there are a lot of small decisions that we don't make, that they tax our minds, they drain our energy. They create a lot of anxiety and nervousness because we don't take care of it. We decide not to decide, which is a decision. Deciding to decide, to act, is a major, major challenge for all of us at different points in different areas of our lives.
Be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful, but you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. It's like the first thing you want to do is dispense with the idea that you get to have any permanent security outside of your ability to contend and adapt. It's the same issue with children. It's like you're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. You might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking.
And so what I want you to think about is, what is there that you know you need to do, that you want to do this, but for some reason or another, you've been holding back. For some reason or another, you just have not been able to gather your nerves or be able to work through the procrastinating or putting it off or justifying or blaming. Some reason or another, you just haven't done it. Because in order to begin to reinvent your life, you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. That you really have got to put all of yourself into it. It's very challenging. You will have some power from on high. You will discover some things about yourself that will begin to electrify your personality. You'll begin to discover some things about you that you don't know you've got when you put yourself in that type of challenging situation.
And then what if you said, now this is to me greatness, can I teach my body emotionally? Now, this is the challenge. Most people wait for their wealth to feel abundant and worthy. They wait for their success to feel empowerment. They wait for the healing to feel gratitude and wholeness. They wait for their new relationship to feel love. That means then we're victims to our environment.
The future is actually the place where there is threat. And it's always going to be there. So what do? You make sacrifices in the present so that the future is better. Right. Everyone does that. That's what you're doing right now. That's what you're doing here. That's what your parents are doing when they pay money to send you to university. They think you can bargain with reality. It's amazing. You can bargain with reality. You can forestall gratification now. And it'll pay off at a place and time that doesn't even exist yet. It's like, who would have believed that? It's like, that's a miracle that occurs.
In other words, people are in lack, or they're empty, or they're suffering. They're waiting for some external exogenous condition to change how they feel. And what happens if it doesn't happen? They spend the rest of their life fighting for it, trying to controlling it, manipulating it, trying to make it happen because they're separate from possibility. But don't you know that the moment you start feeling wholeness, your healing begins? The moment you start feeling worthy and abundant, you're walking towards your future. The moment you're empowered by a vision, and every single day you're living in that energy, you are going to tune into a new future.
Because I picked up my knee. That's just the way it goes. But you know what? At least I can look back and say, at least I tried. But I don't want to be 65 years old, sitting in that rocking chair, looking back at my life and saying, what if? What if? What if?
I fought my way up. I fought to get to work. I fought to get up on my feet. I fought to stand. I fought to carry on. I fought to love. I fought to live. I fought to get out the bed. I fought with my fears, my doubts, my anxieties, my insecurities. I fought with haters, liars, backbiters and betrayers. I even had to fight with family, and many times I laid in the bed, I couldn't go to sleep because I was fighting with myself. I fought.
And if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older. It's a luxury to pursue what makes you happy. It's a moral obligation to pursue what you find meaningful. And that doesn't mean it's easy. It might require sacrifice. You have to think about these things strategically. If you're going to switch careers, you have to do it like an intelligent, responsible person.
You don't know what you can take until the pressure is applied to your life. You don't know what you can endure until people stab you in the back and walk away from you. You don't know how much courage you have until you've been under fire and under struggle and under tribulation. You can't learn what's in you sitting back in a lazy boy chair hitting the remote. Watching HBO and Cinemax, but when all hell breaks loose, that's when you get to see what you got.
Things are, what do you got to do? Change it. And to change it, you have to make a decision.
First thing we have to realize is we are not always going to make the correct decision, right? I'm going to make wrong decisions. But my decision-making has to be with integrity.
If you're always seeking a certain status to validate who you are, you're never going to have peace. You have to know who you are, and then you can climb to the status. You can't climb up to find yourself. You have to find yourself so you can climb up. Oh God, you can't climb up to find yourself. You have to find yourself so you can climb up.
Decision-making is your power. Decisions about people, decisions about products, decisions about marketing or promotion, decisions about what you're going to offer, your offerings. Decisions, you want to change your whole business, you can do it next few days just with some new decisions, but you're going to get stimulated, all kinds of decisions to look at. You got to decide which ones will make the biggest difference. Today, again, is going to help you understand where those decisions need to be focused based on where you are in the life cycle of your business and where you are in your personal life cycle.
But right now, you're being try.
But we want to be right.